Okay, good. Okay, let's start. So today we are going to, let's say, go through another Plato's myth. It's called the myth of Charioteer. You know, the Charioteer is the guy that, let's say, leads the. How you say in English the chariot?
Chariot.
The chariot, yes. You know the chariot, yeah? Tiberia, you know? Yeah? Okay, okay. And basically, this myth, I like it very much because, in a way, is uh, a way to answer to a really important question, which is the nature of the soul. Yeah. So basically, Socrates is in this dialogue called Phaedrus speaks about the nature of the soul. And like it happens often during Plato's dialogue, there are some myths in order to speak about difficult topics in an easier way, in order to make everybody understand, basically. Yeah. So Socrates compares the soul to a charioteer with two horses. And he says at the beginning of the myth that the gods possess only noble charioteers and noble horses. So basically, if you are a god, you are a very good charioteer and very good horses. While other beings, like humans, are guided by a combination of good and bad horses. Yeah. So one horse for that's the case for us basically for humans being one horse is noble, is good, of a fine breed, a fine race, yeah. While the other horse is the opposite, yeah. Is not noble, is bad, is the bad race, yeah. And which means basically that in our soul there are a good and bad part at the same time, yeah. And and Socrates says that because basically he want to say that our task, our, let's say, challenge, our humans, is to be able to control the the two horses, the chariot, yeah. But it's not easy because at least one of the two horses is difficult to control. So we have our time to drive the chariot, and at one point of the myth, it introduces an interesting distinction between souls with wings and souls without wings. So first, he speaks about this metaphor of the soul, like a charioteer with two horses, one good, one bad, and then he says that there are wings, there are souls with wings and soul without. And what the difference? I mean, why some souls that don't have wings and other have it? Yeah. And this is another nice question because, in a way, is a question that is very important also for Christian tradition. I don't know. I think you know because I think you're Christian there, right? You know the story about Lucifer, that was an angel that rebelled against God because of pride. And at least in Dante's Divine Comedy, Lucifer, because of these original sins, basically, yeah, is trapped at the center of the earth. So basically, he lost his first nice condition because of pride, and he becomes, yeah, basically we in Italy we call diavolo, yeah, diavolo, Lucifer, yeah, is trapped in in the center of the earth, and so there is a fall down from a first nice condition. He fall down from heaven to hell because of pride, yeah. And there is a met here. There is something that is similar to what Plato is saying about the souls that lost their wings. Yeah, but of course, Plato's I mean proposed a different answer, and basically he start to answer to this question by saying that the wings are closely connected to what is divine. Yeah. So basically, wings represent our spiritual human power, um, that let our soul to rise from physical world to the divine one. So wings represent our capacity to lift, to go high, to get in a higher level of life. And basically, in other words, the wings of the soul represent uh, our desire for the good, our love of truth, which in a way is another way to define philosophy. Yeah, the love of wisdom, the love of, for something higher. And wings represent also the ability to contemplate the forms, the idea. So basically, in other words, out of the metaphor, the wings of the soul represent thinking, represent philosophy. Yeah, and so basically, Plato thinks that humans have this capacity to lift themselves, to reach a divine world through thinking, to contemplation of the truth. And in fact, the divine word includes beauty, wisdom, goodness. This is what is written in the myth at one point. And if you think what is in common between beauty, wisdom, and goodness is that they are not material goods. They are not tangible. Yeah, they are intangible essence. So it's something that is in a way is invisible. It is not. You cannot see with the physical eye, but you can reach it with the eyes of your mind, yeah, through thinking. And so the wings of the soul go stronger by feeding on these things. So the idea is that the more we spend time, we train ourselves to think, the more the wings of our soul are strong. Yeah. And it's true also the opposite, that the less we think, the less we feed our soul. The less we get satisfaction, the less we get stronger. Basically, the less we take care about ourselves. So this is the answer about to that question. What makes a difference between souls with wings and souls without wings? And the difference is made by thinking. Yeah, the more you think, the best you think, the more you have the capacity to go beyond material worlds. The less you think, the more you lose the capacity. You lose basically the wings, yeah, the capacity to fly in a way. And in a way, we become a bit like Lucifer, which is trapped in the material, is trapped in the center of the earth. But here is a bit, is not a religious conception, is more a philosophical conception. So in a way, by losing the capacity to think, we become a Lucifer. We get attached to material stuff. Yeah. So in a way, we can say that for Plato, when we are too attached to something material is because we are not doing uh, we are not spending time and energy to feed our soul through thinking. Yeah. So in a way, attachment to the word is a compensation of a loss of thinking. Yeah. The more you think, the less you need stuff in a way. Yeah. And so in a way, philosophy and thinking are implies the capacity to detach from yourself, from your body, from the material world. I'm just a couple of things, and then I would like to open to some question before to do an exercise about this. And what there is another interesting aspect of the myth because Plato says, of course, we cannot do thinking all the time. We are not like the soul of gods. Yeah, we have a body, so we have to spend sometimes some energy to take care of the body. Otherwise, we die. Yeah. So in other in the in metaphor, in the allegory, we cannot do without horses. Horses represent, let's say, different emotion or different part of the soul and the body at the same time. Yeah. The bad horses represent what is inside us that doesn't push our soul to fly, and the white horse represent, for example, I don't know, courage, those emotion and those skills that let our soul to go beyond material world. I don't know if Plato was racist because here the black horse is used to define something bad about ourselves. But anyway, and so the idea is that we don't have to, let's say, uh, eliminate the material world. We don't have to eliminate our body. Yeah, we need our body. We need our horses in order to fly. Yeah, it's more a problem of priority. Yeah, the idea is that what do you want to do with your body? Yeah, you wanna, or with the material world, you wanna see in the material a goal to reach, or you want to see in the material in your body as well an instrument to reach something higher. Yeah, so it's not that material is bad. What is bad is to lose the capacity to detach from material. But if you think in order to detach from yourself, your body and material condition, you need to have a body and to live in a material world. Yeah. And so basically, that's the main ideas of the myth. I think to conclude that yeah, an interpretation I see. Last time I asked you to interpret the myth of the cave. Today we're gonna work on a different competency, is more conceptualization. But I want to propose you one, I think, possible interpretation of this myth, which can be summarized in the idea that we cannot satisfy our soul just through material stuff. Yeah, we cannot be happy just by taking care about what is our body and what we possess, for example. Yeah, money, house, any material goods. Yeah. And I remember a few years ago, I have a friend here in Italy by Milan, and a few years ago, her mother suicide. Yeah, and she was rich. She had basically anything she wanted, yeah, by material, but she wasn't happy, yeah. I think this is a little drama that shows that we cannot feed our soul by eating food or just by buying stuff. Yeah, our soul needs something higher, and if we are not able to take care of that noble part of our soul, uh, we cannot really be satisfied with ourselves. Yeah. For example, w- when I write or when I do this workshop or when I do teaching as well, yeah, I must say that that's my main goal is to feed my soul basically. I don't know if happened with you as well, Alex, that after a workshop, after intellectual work that you do, you feel a satisfaction that is not possible to reach through material stuff. Yeah, maybe you eat some great food, but it's not the same satisfaction you get by thinking, by writing, by doing something that is higher, is beyond material. Yeah, so that's the main ideas of the myth. And now, before to an exercise about it, I would like to see and if you have any questions, any doubts, something is not clear about what I said, anything. Yeah, let's open to the group. I see Tiberia. Yeah.
I have a question. Once you lose the wings, can you get them back or no? In the meat.
Okay, nice question, Tiberia. Before, I don't know if you, yeah, I know that last time was the first time, right? For you.
Yes.
Tiberia. Okay. So I don't know if you know that in a way, in the practice, before to answer, yeah, we try to contemplate the question. We try to analyze a bit the question. And could you say what's the source? What's the main preoccupation of behind your question? Could you say that or no?
Sincerely, it was more technical one because I know that we can contemplate on this question, but I didn't know if in the meet it was something specific about these things. So I will not.
Yeah, okay, I understand. But now, Tiberia, I mean,
Yes.
probably you're not conscious when you ask this question, but I'm inviting you to try to think about your question. So maybe you didn't do it before. I get it's normal. You make a question, but what do you think is the main preoccupation behind? Forget that you asked this question.
Mm.
Just think about the question. So can you repeat first the question?
Once you lose your wings as a soul, can you get them back, or it's permanent?
Okay, so what's the main preoccupation you think behind it?
If there is an redemption, or can you transform and change your mind and try to once to become more spiritual, even though you aren't,
Okay,
or
can
you
you
lost that ability and can you gain it back?
can you conceptualize this idea? I know it's difficult, but it's part of the job we are supposed to do today together.
Change, maybe change.
Can you explain?
Um, sure. Like if your soul can suffer some changes that will, in the end, it will evolve in a more, I don't know, more evolved soul. Like if now I wasn't interested about philosophy that much. I mean, I did know that I like philosophy, but now I started to come to these classes. So is this a step? Let's say I didn't have wings. Let's say
Yeah.
is if you do some steps, can you reach again a more evolved
Okay.
state of being? I don't know.
Okay, interesting. So you are saying that your preoccupation is possible to change a direction in our
Yes,
life, basically.
yes.
What do you think since you are here?
I think yes, but I wasn't sure about in the myth if there is, if you lose the wings, you don't get them back. I didn't know if there was a 0 point or a.
You see, Tiberia, here Plato doesn't say explicitly,
Okay.
doesn't give an answer.
Mhm.
But that's part, I think, part of the interpretation. I think we can guess a bit, or we can propose some interpretation, even by
Mhm.
using our experience, our subjectivity. Of course, when we interpret, we need to try to fit our subjectivity with what is objective in the text. Yeah. So now I'm asking you, can you pick something I said about the myth that can prove that it's possible to change, it's possible to get the wings back? Or no, it's nothing. Otherwise, it's just subjectivity. Yeah.
Yeah, if you feed your soul, maybe I mean if you feed with love and beauty and knowledge, your wings become stronger. And let's say that you don't feed your soul with these kind of things, and you at one point you lose the wings. But maybe if you again become interested in these concepts and you look to have more knowledge, and maybe there are some wings that will grow again.
Yeah.
This
So I think the metaphor of feeding
feeding, yes, yes,
can fit your interpretation. Yes.
yes.
You seem be happy now that you got that is possible, yeah?
Yes.
Were you worried to have lost your wings and not to have the possibility to get them back?
I don't think that I lost my wings, but there were moments where my wings were smaller, maybe
Where it's weaker, yeah?
weaker.
It's
Yes,
like when you don't eat enough that you feel less energy than usual, but
yes.
so okay, so you didn't lose your wings.
No.
And let me ask you, before, I don't know, to join us, or what was your way to try to feed your wings, your soul, and to get your wings stronger? You had a strategy, you had, oh no, you don't didn't care about them,
No, so I I do what I love in my daily job.
which
So
is
I tried architecture, and
okay. Did it
I
work?
draw.
Drawing was a good way to feed your soul.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So why your wings were weak if drawing was a good way to feed them? Do you see a contradiction here?
Yes, but no, I don't see a contradiction. I didn't. I They were weaker because I had moments where I thought that maybe I didn't take the right path in my job, and I lost my motivation. So a big part of me was not really motivated with what I decided.
Okay.
Right.
Basically, you're saying that you were eating a food that at one point it wasn't that
Yes,
good anymore for you. Yeah?
yes,
You
yes.
get tired about that food.
I had to work on myself to change my perception
Okay.
about
You get
the job.
tired a bit about that food.
It wasn't what I was expecting, let's say. I'm not sure if I got tired. It was just I had to change some
Okay.
ideas that I have about it.
Okay. So you're
But I had
happy?
other things to feed. It wasn't only drawing. So
Yeah. Okay. But let me conclude that I don't know. I don't want to be pessimistic, but sometimes I have the idea that I don't know. It's too late for some people to try to get the food for them, their soul in a way. There are some people, I don't know. I see maybe my parents or other maybe old people that in a way I try to give them the chance to be more satisfied through thinking, but I see a constant rejection, yeah. And so
Mhm.
to be more realistic, I like the idea that is always possible, yeah, to get this food for your soul. But one point, maybe, yeah, the wings are so weak that maybe it's impossible to get the energy back to fly again, basically. Yeah. It's like, when you don't use your body for too long, at one point you lose some capacity, yeah, in a way forever. So don't want to ruin
I
your.
agree.
You agree? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And anybody want to add something about this, Alex?
Yes, I would like to mention this the idea of trying to fly under the ground.
Like
If,
Lucifer in
yeah, but we still have our wings, but we are stuck in materiality and in material conditions. But we never kind of lose our ability to think or to contemplate, but just that we struggle with all the dirt and the ground, and then at the same time we try to fly, but we're in the wrong environment to fly because we trap ourselves in material conditions. So just we have to pull ourselves out of the ground instead of s- trying to.
Okay, so basically you're proposing the idea that sometimes it's not because we lose the capacity to fly or the wings, is because we are trying to fly in the wrong place, in the wrong environment, basically, yeah?
Yeah, there is a misfit of what we are trying to do to contemplate life and ourselves, and where we go, we choose to be. We get stuck in the materiality.
Okay, interesting. Can you propose a concrete example to help us to have a concrete dimension here?
Yeah, I think anyone who tries to do a job for for money or for usefulness, for utility, and chooses and tries to see the higher purpose of their soul somehow in that job is not in a right direction if there's no fit between the job they're doing and their ambition to grow their soul.
Okay, so
So,
uh, uh, okay, wrong ambition, could we say?
yeah, and moved by material ambitions mostly. And yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I, I'm a bit amazed about, those rock star that reach exactly the success they wanted. They're, and but they are not they're not happy. Yeah, I remember I read in the 90s, the diary by Kurt Cobain. I don't know, the
oh,
Nirvana rock star.
Nirvana.
You know, it's a bit sad because he had all, to be happy, but he wasn't happy. Maybe he had wrong ambition, yeah, or maybe that's not enough to solve himself. Yeah, so he was trying to fly in the wrong environment in a way, like you propose. Plus, there was heroin involved, so it doesn't help. Yeah. And by the way, heroin, drugs can be seen as a way to fly in a wrong way, yeah, in a wrong environment, in a way, yeah. You instead to use your mind to fly, you need an external help that made you feel something like ecstasy or something, yeah. But it means that you are not able to reach that level of satisfaction through the capacity of thinking, through some capacity that you have, yeah. So that's why you get dependent, you get addicted from something material, basically. Yeah, it's a way to be attached to the material world. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Is Pepe part of this example, do you think?
I don't know. Ask him.
Pepe, are you in the wrong environment, ambition, or you're happy?
In contrast with the success you claimed I have in the uh, not anymore. I have been for a while. Yes,
Okay, okay, okay.
yes. I will say I'm throwing back my wings.
Okay, okay. But you try to reach that ambition in your field, right?
Of course, of course. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And what made you change since Tiberia proposed a nice topic here? What made you change direction?
What was the signal, or what did I do?
No, no, like, yeah, what made you understand that that ambition wasn't enough to be happy for you?
Yes, I from this perspective, I would like to introduce the concept of alienation.
Okay, explain.
Is the idea of doing something that take all your energy, like flying under the ground, as Alex proposed, but your wing cannot grow, or they are broken even more, or you lose your wings through this resistance. There is an I will say there is a resistance when you are alienated.
Okay. So you lose yourself.
Yes, you lose yourself
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you experienced that, but I noticed by this observing myself that the period of my life where I think less, I write less, I do less studying and stuff. I need, for example, I need to eat more. I need to I need to have more recognition by people around me. I need more this material stuff. Did you notice to yourself as well?
Yes, for sure there are coping mechanisms, so things that have to balance. Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
it joins this idea you introduced with drugs, because drugs are, I mean, just a easier way to reach this material well-being momentarily, like having a good food or getting some recognition.
Okay. Yeah, I actually wouldn't agree with that. I don't know if you read the actually book about the door of perception. Did you read it? No?
No, no, no.
I think it's a nice book. But there is a different thesis there that drug can help you to reach some higher level, let's say, even of intellectual experience. But in general, I would say that drugs is a metaphor of attachment to material stuff. Yes.
Yes, but I, I mean, there are a tool. I mean, being attached to having a good food is not bad per se, or having drugs. Like if we want to moralize it, because I see some morality in the judgment you did at the beginning with drugs. I mean, there's some morality in this. I see some morality in this textbook. I mean, not fulfilling your potential, not growing your wings is framed as a bad thing. Like moral, and you even use this idea of Christianity when it is clearly, I mean, the demon is a bad being because he was proud. So, but neither there is not a morality inherent to these tools, either drugs or getting recognitions or eating food. Is it? Depends on how you use it. If they help you to get closer to yours.
Yeah, I think the answer to your question is present in the myth, that like when I said that we need horses to fly. Yeah. So it's not that we have to eliminate material stuff. It's the way we relate with them that make the difference. Yeah. So it's
Okay.
not that we have to eliminate food, material food. is if we see food as our major goal, maybe that's the problem, you know.
course.
And there are people, I guarantee you that in Italy, I know people that live for eating. They do sport in order to eat. Yeah, most of that they do is to have that pleasure of eating. Yeah. I'm
But
not against the pleasure of eating. It's not nothing moral for me. Yeah. The problem is that if you see that as your major goal, you are missing something higher and more important, which is that satisfaction that comes through intellectual work. Yeah. For example.
I I have a question, or I see a something that I feel or that I think like a contradiction is this dichotomy between material and kind of elevate thinking, meaning that maybe you can reach elevate thinking through material things. No, I don't see this.
Okay, let's try. Let me ask the group if they understood the question. Who understood the Pepe question? Raise his hand. Okay, Pepe, can you pick someone to rephrase it?
I don't see the rest of the group because I am in my mobile
Oh,
phone.
there is Arminda, there is Sorin, there is Alex.
Okay,
Pepe is asking if we can reach some kind of elevated thinking through material stuff. That's what I understood.
Do you accept the rephrase, Pepe?
yes, yes,
Wait. I must say that every time I heard yes, there is a problem.
yes.
What's the problem? Can you say? What is missing?
It's missing the paradox or the contradiction.
Okay, can you add it?
Uh, is there a fundamental contradiction in between the material world and this elevation through thinking? Will be more because if there is not, then you will reach. I don't know. It's complicated to rephrase.
Yeah, that's why I asked the group to rephrase because it wasn't that clear, at least
No,
for
no, it's
me.
clear.
Can you or maybe you need to think a bit about that before to rephrase it?
To think a little more
Okay,
about.
so think when you have a clear question, you raise your hand and then you share. Okay, Pepe? Yeah. Okay. I wait, Sorin, is you raise your hand to answer to rephrase or is another stuff?
Yes, I want to propose this idea to Pepe. Maybe it helps him the way
Okay.
I understood his
Okay, go on.
idea. I think he refers to the fact that the two cannot or should not exclude each other.
Okay, so the question would
That's why
be,
he,
are material, intellectual dimension excluding each other or no? That would be the problem that Pepe raised in your interpretation, right?
yes, he mentioned the term dichotomy and maybe,
Okay. Pepe,
yeah,
is he right?
Yes, I like this idea of mutual exclusion or not. Formulated.
Okay.
mutual exclusion, yeah.
Sorin, since you seem to understood clearly the Pepe question, would you have would you propose an answer or no? You have an answer.
Yes, I think that they do not exclude each other. And I agree with Pepe that you can use one to reach the other, let's say.
Can you say how?
Um, Maybe by training your thinking, let's say, in feeding your soul, you can end up having more stuff from what you want, more material stuff that you want.
Wait, okay, you are saying that you do something mainly to feed your soul, but at the same time you get money.
Maybe, yes, money. You can have more of the material stuff, let's say.
Yeah. Okay.
And in the other way around, by having more access to material stuff, you can have more access to inspirational ideas for the mind.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, makes sense. You remind myself of many years ago when I started to, dedicate my life to this. I remember at the beginning, the first years, I didn't care about money. So I was doing everything for free. But at one point, I had to do job that I didn't like in order to survive. Yeah. So, for example, to the lifeguard or stuff like that. So at one point, I realized that by not getting money, by doing what I like it, I was forcing myself to waste time and energy to do something I didn't like it. You see? You understand?
Yes, yes,
So at one point, I start to ask money by doing it. So now I don't have I have more time and energy to spend by doing what I like, basically, to feed my soul. Okay,
yes.
yeah, nice, makes sense. Yes, good. Pepe, you want to conclude something shortly about this?
Wait, there's Glad before Pepe.
Oh, yeah, but Glad, do you have something about this?
Yes, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have these contradicting thoughts. Um, as we were going with the ideas and different opinions about this, I was thinking about all of the objects that could actually enlighten you and help you have bigger wings, and the idea that not all of the materiality in the world, not all of the objects are only to create leisure, pleasure, luxury, or just having this uh, temporary self egotistical enlightenment. You can use a lot of objects to maybe enlighten you spiritually or mentally. I'm thinking of the most simple example, books, or maybe some specific artifacts, objects of culture, anything that could actually bring your soul to a better place, even if it's, again, for your um, egotistical nature to get better in your own perspective. I don't know if it makes any sense.
Yeah, okay. So you're proposing the idea that material and intellectual, they don't necessarily exclude each other, since you can use some material, I don't know, for example, artworks that you can put in your house to make your house more beautiful, that can, I don't know, yeah, like you have behind you. Yeah, does it what does it work, Glad? Yeah,
Yeah, it helps.
yeah, yeah. In a way, it's a way to remind your soul that there is a higher dimension through the material that you have around yourself, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And also, for example, maybe even considering specific types of like jewelry. Let's say that you have jewelry that is for external people. They think that okay, he has a lot of money because he has that specific watch or that jewelry. But maybe for that person, that specific watch or jewelry, it has a specific historical meaning for him. Maybe he has like a memory about it. Maybe he got a watch from his grandparents, or they have I mean, this is the materiality part of the person thinking that I have to have specific objects to make me feel that Um, I don't know. Am atins un scop. Citizen.
Reach a
Now.
purpose.
Yeah,
I
you
reached a
have.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To give you meaning in life.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe some objects are giving you some meaning.
Yeah, I understand, Glad. I would agree with what you are saying, but I would add something that I think is a nice problem I have been studying in the Christian tradition. I don't know if you heard about iconoclasm. Do you know what is
Mhm.
it?
Yes. Yes.
Can you explain to the group? Because maybe someone didn't know, doesn't know.
Um.
I lost you, Glad. I don't see you anymore. Don't see anymore the beauty behind you.
Sorry. Is it the principle of seeing a more divine purpose in objects rather than concentrating yourself on the spiritual divinity?
Oh,
Or
that is the movement, the doctrine, which is against the veneration of the images.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So in a way, it's a movement that sees a problem, a danger in veneration through images, because you can forget that what is important is not the images itself, is what represented, is behind, yeah. And
Hmm.
otherwise, the risk is that you idolize something material instead of really venerate God. Yeah, and I think that that's a nice idea about what you are saying. That I think as long as you remind to yourself that the beauty is something that goes beyond your picture you have behind and the material, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine to have this material, good beauty stuff around you. But if you forget it and then you start to treating that object like an end in itself, maybe that could be a danger, yeah, for your soul. What do you think?
Yes, I agree. I consider that anything that goes in either types of extremes, it's not healthy for the soul. Uh, I'm thinking also about the extreme minimalism, where you have almost nothing as a possession,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
for an example. So both extremes are, I don't think that are healthy for the human soul.
yeah, 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 yeah. So in a way, it's good as long as you don't get attached too
Exaggerate.
much to that stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Nice idea, Glad. And something else. I think Sebastian before was raising his hand, and then we lost him a bit. You wanted to say something, Sebastian?
Yes. Earlier, I wanted to say something. It was maybe in correlation to Tiberia's comment about being able to grow wings. I In a recent workshop, I was talking to Oscar about this. He pointed to Plato writing about Socrates, who said that there is always this divine rational spark in every person, but it is covered up with mud. And it is the philosopher's duty, if he wishes to be a philosopher, to believe that there is a spark there, even if it's not visible. For example, as you were talking about trying to bring your parents closer to philosophy, even if one doesn't succeed, it is our duty as philosophers, if we embark on this journey,
To go back in the cave.
to keep going back in the cave, yes, to keep going back and then bring the spark back, if possible. And we were calling it Urvertrauen, which is the German term for this basic trust, this fundamental trust, which is a leap of faith in all the mud of the human soul to know that there is this spark of rationality.
Yeah, I agree. Is that the fundamental trust in reason that
Yes,
drive the philosopher to do it anyway, even if you
yes,
be, risk to be killed like Socrates happened.
yes.
So,
Even if we used to be here, yes, yes.
yes, yes, I like. So in a way, is impossible to escape belief. Yeah,
Yeah,
we all
this
have
is
some beliefs. Yeah.
the implicit new idea that we come up with. That at one point also a philosopher has to have this belief, because if he doubts this or questions this, then it might all tumble. This might be a thing one should not problematize.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting because in a way there are some ideas that it doesn't matter if they are true or false, but they are important for the effect they produce in your life. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
I found this idea in Menone. I don't know if you read Menone. Menone
Oh,
is a dialogue by Plato where he speaks about knowledge,
hmm,
and he compared knowledge as the capacity to remember
hmm,
something is already inside yourself, is inside your soul. Yeah, because your soul, before to fall down in the body, he says Socrates to Menone. Menone is a nobleman of Athens. Yeah,
hmm,
and he was saying the soul knows already everything because flied everywhere before to fall down in the body, but when he fall down in the body he forgot about what he saw before. Yeah,
yes.
and so basically knowledge is the capacity to make your soul remember what he knew already. And at one point Socrates says something really interesting about this. He says I don't really know if this is true or not. But what I know is that if you believe this, you're gonna know more. You know, which is
Oh,
exactly what you're proposing, like the idea of to believe and
yes,
trusting
yes,
that everyone can reason, basically.
exactly. Yeah,
So yes, in a way, it's a choice what you want to believe in, basically. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And this leads to knowledge, or this basically grows the wings. To connect it to the previous method, this belief is necessary to grow the wings. Also, to Tiberia, I can say you have to believe that you can grow them in order for them to grow in this rationality of it, the capacity of rationality to become a flame.
Yeah, that's why I wanted her to answer the question to
Yes, to
to see
exactly.
what was her belief behind the
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember one time I was walking with Oscar there in La Chapelle, and we were speaking about trust. Yeah,
Mhm.
and yeah. At one point, he told me, "You know what? The question is not is that would you trust a person even if you know that this person would cheat on you?"
Mhm.
And in a way, I think is what happened every time with everybody. So everyone can cheat on you, yeah.
Yeah,
But I think it's a decision. Even if you know that, would you trust or not?
yeah,
Because if you trust, there are some, effect in your life. If you decide to stop trusting, you're gonna lose some. So it's like Jesus with Judah. He
yes,
knows that he's going to cheat on him, yeah?
yes,
Betrayed him, yeah. But still, is there to trust. His fundamental trust was in love and to love humans anyway, anyhow, yeah. Even if the human kills him, is there for humans, yeah. So yes, I think it's a fundamental choice that everybody has to make. Yeah.
yes,
Even if you don't know what is true and what is false. Maybe it's not true that everybody can reason. But who
yes.
cares?
Well, yeah, but it's I liked also the idea that you bring now, which I thought about it, but not clearly as this. So it was actually this passive kind of knowledge that trust is a decision, because it's not you can look for proof. Can I trust or can I not trust, and then be heteronomous in this endeavor. Is there proof for trusting or is there not? Or you can decide to trust and then take own your pain or own the disappointment that goes with it.
Hmm.
making the decision. I like this idea that trust is a decision. It's not circumstantial. Well, sometimes yes, but you can still trust a bad man to do what he obviously is in his nature to do.
Yeah, so you decide if to be a victim or not to be a victim.
Yeah.
If you,
Yeah.
you know, so it's I like this idea as well because make yourself more powerful than if you think that trust is something that is disconnected with choice. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Good.
And Victor, I see. Let's go to you, Victor, before we pass to the second part of the workshop, which implies an exercise.
Yes, thank you. I was thinking about Plato's criticism of desire, and for him, desire for truth is not a bad desire, but
That's a
this can,
white horse, by the way.
yeah,
White horse implies the desire for truth. Yeah.
yeah. But what if this desire for truth actually can hide other desires? Like a person might say that all I want is the truth, but what they actually want is to be like never to be deceived, never to feel vulnerable, to feel above ordinary people, to destroy illusions, to control life through concepts. And at what point this desire for truth turns itself against life, like it becomes a training regime where that has turned the human being against life.
That's your question, Victor.
Yeah. And what
Yeah.
point this desire for truth it is actually against life, because it hides something else, other forms of desires.
Okay, let me answer, even if I hope doesn't sound too banal. But I think that the answer is already present in your question, because you described a condition where at one point the desire of truth there is no anymore. Yeah, is it seems to be desire of truth, but in reality is something different. Yeah, that's what you said.
Yes.
So in that moment, I would say that the problem is that there is no anymore authentic desire for the truth. You see, so it's not the problem, the desire of truth. The problem here is that when it seems to be desire of truth, but in reality is hiding something different, like you said, for example, the fear to be deceived or the fear to make mistakes or the need to be right all the time or stuff like that, yeah, to be certain. But that's not the real seeking for truth, seeking for wisdom. It's not authentic philosophy. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's the problem? I don't see the real problem there.
How do you know? How do you know when the desire for truth becomes pathological?
Okay. That's okay. Then this is a more precise question. That's what you wanted to ask before, right?
Yes.
Do you have a I don't know an
An
hint?
example?
No. You have an hypothesis to because it seems that you know more than you seems to don't know. I mean, if you make such a question, I had the impression you thought already about it, or no?
Yes.
So what your idea? Don't hide your idea behind the question, and share your ideas.
I don't think there is such a healthy way to desire truth, because you always use truth in order to to criticize something or to see something beyond, I don't know, beyond everything, every gesture, every action, every behavior. So at some point this desire for truth, to know what is behind something, is all the time pathological.
Oh, so you think it's bad all the time?
I think yes. I'm tempted to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure.
You know, I have the suspicion, but maybe I'm wrong, but tell me that you're projecting something in your answer here.
Okay.
You are projecting a bit your way to deal with thinking, with truth, with this seeking of truth.
Okay. Can you give me like
It's like, okay, let me give you a metaphor of a transposition. It's like when I speak with people, students, and they say, I don't like thinking, yeah. I cannot stop thinking, yeah. So for me, thinking is bad. You know, the people that says that, yeah, that they cannot, for example, fall asleep because they keep thinking.
okay, overthinking.
Overthinking, yeah. And what I
Yeah.
say is that, you know what, it's not that you don't like thinking, but the problem is that you overthink. But overthinking is not thinking anymore. Overthinking is worrying. So the
Yes.
problem that you have is not with thinking, is that you are not able to think because you worry too much. And I think here you're doing something similar, yeah? You're confusing a bit this unhealthy seeking for something absolute, yeah, with philosophy, with thinking. Or maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But that's
Yes,
just an hypothesis.
I see this tendency in people that I know that they were doing philosophy. So
But do you see this tendency in yourself as well, or just in others?
I see it more in others,
Okay,
because I like, I like to stop all this and actually enjoy life in its everyday banality.
okay. But do you agree that for the people that you observe that they do the seeking of truth in this not healthy way, that's not really that's not authentic philosophy and thinking. That's more overthinking. That's more seeking for absolute. Yeah, that's more an obsession. It's not a passion. It's more an obsession.
Yes, it is exactly like that. And they they think that if they are doing that, they are not falling again into a trap of illusion, so they have like, it's easy for them to desire, let's say, what ordinary people might desire today, and they try to they have this perspective that others are stupid and manipulated, by material things, by whatever, whether they have access to a greater truth, let's say, which is not to be manipulated, and so on and so on.
Yeah, yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah, yeah, I would say that they are not in the thinking process anymore when they do that. Yeah, so they should stop thinking in order to start thinking. they,
Yeah,
they should stop overthink to start to enjoy thinking. Yeah.
but also it raises the questions that they are becoming, these uh, like Oscar like to say, floating brains. They are like anti-body, anti-emotions, anti-pleasure.
Okay, so you agree that that's not authentic thinking. There's not authentic seeking for truth.
I agree, but I agree, yes, but I think this is what Plato would like us to be.
Oh, you are using Plato to be an absolutist, basically, yeah?
Yes, an ascetic.
Okay, I don't know. Uh, okay, you think so? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try. Who thinks that Plato's is an absolutist? from the at least the dialogue. Oh, Alex, you think so as well? Okay, can you say why?
Because of the tendency to achieve a perfect form, to understand ideas in their perfection, which is this ambition for seeing the truth in its absolute form. Through, yeah,
Mm.
this um, main focus of life is to reason. But then I don't agree that it's overthinking. I just think it's an
Yeah.
ideal. So in that sense, that being achieved, striving towards the ideal, which is beyond materiality, is a big part of Plato's philosophy of forms.
Okay. Can be. In my experience, since I've been reading a lot of works by Plato, I must say that I see a difference, a big difference between the younger works to the older ones. Yeah, I think in the younger works is not that absolutist. Yeah, is more similar to Socrates at the beginning. Yeah, in the first 15, 20 dialogue, let's say. But at the end. Yeah, I see this is more rigid, is more idealistic, is more absolutist. Maybe it's because he's old at one point, and when you get older, maybe you have that tendency. I don't know, but I think I see an evolution in the Plato's works about this attitude.
Oh, I don't disagree with him. Someone had to invent it and be the first one to say reason. This
Mhm.
is reason. And then, but yeah, at the beginning of when he's more showing how Socrates deals with life and ideas, he is more, in a more negotiating, flexible exemplification of how philosophy works.
Yeah, yeah. But don't forget that one of his main goal through philosophy is to basically try to, let's say, eliminate or fight against the relativism, basically, yeah, because he believes that if in a society everyone feels free to think everything, that's the presupposition of chaos, anarchy, yeah. So in a way, maybe this tendency to be absolutist it can be explained by this need to reach something common, yeah, a common reason in order to create a condition to live in a society which is not chaos and anarchy. So maybe there is this risk in what Plato's is doing. Yeah, is a bit the difference between perspectivism and absolutism. Yeah, so in a way, you see, sometimes if perspectivism can be confused with relativism. Yeah, and sometimes in order to find a common reason, you can risk to become a bit absolutist. Yeah, so it's not always easy to find that path of philosophy that is be in between, you know.
Yes, a relativist can and will really easily accuse a rationalist of being rigid or fixed.
Explain,
Yeah,
explain.
as we are, let's say, us as philosophy practitioners or contemplating people, we sometimes conceptualize, we name a phenomenon, and we're not thinking it's absolute, but someone who is very relativistic can accuse us by saying, no, it's not just like that.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, that's it was a common accuse in Plato's dialogue against Socrates. Yeah, because many interlocutors were saying, "Oh, Socrates, you are forcing me to say that." Yeah, so it was in a way accusing to be absolutist Socrates himself. Yeah. So, but that's from a relativistic point of view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's a nice topic. Nice topic you raise, Victor. Thank you. And now let's go in the step two, let's say, of the workshop. But I would need someone, maybe I don't know, Alex. You can help me because I I decide to propose you a little part of the myth that I would like you, Alex, to read. That I think now after the my let's say introduction and the discussion we had, I think it can be more clear and appreciated. Yeah. So let me put here in the chat the link of the Google Docs where I pasted the that part. It's not the entire meet, it's too long. I pick one part I think is beautiful.
You want me to read it out loud?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let's do. So, myth of the charioteer. Among all souls, the one that follows a god most closely and becomes most like him can raise its head into the heavenly world and travel with the gods. However, because its horses are difficult to control, it can see the true realities only with difficulty. Another soul sometimes raises its head and sometimes lowers it, because its horses pull in different directions. It sees some of the truth. It sees some of the truth, but misses other parts. All the other souls also want to reach this high place, but they are not strong enough. They are pushed around, collide with one another, and struggle to move ahead of each other. As a result, there is confusion, conflict, and great effort. Many souls are injured and many lose their wings. After all this struggle, they leave without seeing the truth clearly. Once they are gone, they feed only on opinions instead of truth. The reason why souls work so hard to find the plane of truth is that there they find the food that is best for their highest part of the soul. The wings of the soul are nourished by this food, and thanks to it, the soul can rise upward.
Thank you, Alex. I think this is a nice description of humanity, by the way. Yeah. And in a way, it's interesting the idea that a lot of fight we have among each other is the consequence of the fact that we stop to feed our soul and to in order to reach that higher place. Yeah. So I think it's a nice, very nice allegory of entire humanity. But here is the bit the exercise I would like to propose. Oh, first, maybe you want to comment something about this part.
I The plane of truth is a new thing. What is the plane of truth?
Yeah, it's another way to say, it's called hyperuranio, basically,
What?
Hyperuranio, hyperuranio.
I don't
I don't
understand.
know, maybe I don't know in English maybe, but Iperuranio, Urano, Urano in Greek is the god of the sky. Yeah, Urano is sky basically,
Yeah.
and Hyper, Uran, it means beyond sky. So basically, is the way that Plato described the world of the ideas, thinking.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So playing of the truth is another metaphor to say that, yeah, it's not a real physical world. It's not a physical space. It's that dimension that we reach by thinking. It's the world of the idea.
Okay.
Yeah. You never heard Hyperuranio? No? Basti, you heard Hyperuranio? No?
No,
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So you're not familiar with this okay idea.
no.
Is okay, yeah, it's a word, the world of the ideas, basically. Yeah, is another name to say that. Okay, so any comments or question about this text? And then otherwise, I have a question for all of you. I don't see any. Okay, so let me ask you then, since you don't have anything. I I would like we now to start reason about this topic, but the question I think is strongly connected with the myth that we are talking about. And the question is, what prevents you, or what prevents us from dedicating our life to thinking? So basically, in other words, we could say, which is your black horses that force you not to lift, not to get high. Yeah.
What's his name?
What's his name? And I'm inviting you to name by conceptualize. Yeah. So just propose a concept. Try to conceptualize your black horse or your obstacle,
In
basically.
one word or one or two
One or
words.
two, let's say one two or two words. Yes. So I give you a couple of minutes to think about the name of your black horse, and then I would like to know why that represent a black horse for you. So please think a bit about that, and then you write it down. Don't forget to put your name before the concept. Okay, I give you a few seconds more.
Destination.
Okay, let's go with someone didn't speak yet. So let's see. I see. So Monica, Arminda, you didn't speak so much so far, or you didn't speak at all. So I invite you, maybe who want to speak among those ones didn't speak.
I can speak. I will speak.
Yeah,
I'm
what's your
speaking.
name? What's your name?
Monica. Monica.
Monica. Okay, Monica.
Yes. Yeah, I've been struggling a bit to find a concept, but I put there deprivation.
Can you explain the deprivation? Why is that
Yeah,
your
I was
black
thinking.
horse?
Yeah, I don't know if it's similar with poverty or something. So I had a combination actually of two words, but I tried to put in two words. It's maybe a little bit similar with what you said before, like if I start thinking, then I don't have time to do my job that actually gives me money. So I end up of not having money. It's a kind of vicious circle. I have to stay in a job to make money, and I don't have enough time for thinking.
How you call this condition? That
Trauma.
trauma? Okay. I was thinking about slavery.
Or slavery. Yeah,
You
slavery. It's even better, I would say. Yes,
you like slavery?
probably yes.
Okay. So basically, you have to spend most of your energy and time to basically survive, which is
card.
what, Margareta, you want? Well, one sec, I finish with Simona, then if you want, I come to you. So,
Sorry, I unmuted by mistake.
oh, don't worry, don't
Sorry.
worry. So basically, you don't have time and energy to spend to think to feed your soul because you have to spend all the energy or almost every energy and time you have to feed your body by basically, yeah, which is a bit the condition of the slaves, yeah,
Slavery. Yeah, I think slavery is a good thing. Yeah.
yeah. You know that Nietzsche proposed this idea that if you don't have at least half of your time to spend in what you really like, you are a slave.
Mm.
Which I think basically the majority of humans get in this category, yeah. But do you like to be a slave or no, Simona? Because
No, I don't
that
like to be a slave.
some people like to be slaves.
I know.
You like?
I don't like to be a slave.
So why you keep? You're afraid to die, that you don't eat, or is something different?
No, I just feel it as a vicious circle, as I said. I'm a slave to make some money, and then I just don't have time for thinking, or I don't think enough. Yeah,
But could you live with less money that you are getting
I
with?
could live with less money. Yeah, so
Okay, so there is
maybe I
some.
like to be a slave. Yes.
You want to be a comfortable slave. That's
Hmm.
this new slavery. Once in the ancient times, the slave they didn't live in a nice way, but today the slave want to have a television, nice house, stuff. But they are still slaves. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, baby, let's see. Let's go back to your concept now after the discussion a bit. You proposing deprivation. Okay, so deprivation. But so okay, slavery, but deprivation can work as well. I think your main fear is to lose the comfort you created in your life,
Hmm.
and so there's to be deprived from your comfort, right?
Yes.
So for your comfort is more important than thinking.
Yes.
Okay, 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 okay. And that makes you a slave. Yeah.
And that makes me a slave, yes.
Yeah, okay, okay, okay. But I mean, as long as you're happy like that, but you don't seem to be happy, so I don't know why you keep putting comfort in front before thinking, before your noble part of the soul, before the white horse. You're,
Well,
did you know why comfort is so important for you? Oh no.
might be, as I said before, about like linking with trauma and what I lived in the past. And actually now I work with we wanted to discuss before a little bit, to intervene a little bit before, like talking about vulnerable groups, their white horses and black horses. So I know if these people, they do have white horse and the black horse. So I work with children, like living Roma children, like living, for instance, on a garbage dump, and they have zero. So they have nothing, basically. They start with a minus in life. And then their material part, actually, they are very attached to the material part because this is the basic necessities. So it's
But did
not
you,
going beyond, okay, start reasoning. We talk a lot about studying, and
yeah, yeah, I understand. So about, let me ask you, did you experience poverty in
I
the
did
childhood?
experience. Yes, yes, yes. I did experience
So that's
poverty.
your trauma. You are so
Yeah.
afraid to go back there that you prefer to dedicate your life in get and keeping your material stuff you earned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a nice distinction for you here. Is by Schopen. You know Schopenhauer? No.
Yes. Yeah.
Schopenhauer, in the World of Will and Representation, which is his main work, propose a concept of poverty, yeah,
Mm.
as a way to liberate the soul from sorrow, pain, yeah. But they make a distinction between voluntary poverty and not voluntary poverty. So what you experience in your childhood is not voluntary poverty. And if you are poor, but you want to get stuff, you sorrow. Your sorrow is even bigger, than people that are attached to stuff. Yeah. So in a way, maybe you could problematize the idea of poverty. Yeah, because if you if you want to live with less stuff, if you would like to be more poor than you are, is a different experience that to be stuck in poverty. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you didn't think about this distinction before. Yeah.
No, I haven't. No.
So in a way, you are it's interesting because you experience these two extremes in a way not to have enough, and now to be too attached to something you have that
Mm.
you are a slave anyway. Yeah. So before you were a slave of nothing because you did. Now you're a slave of something. Yeah. But there is a third possible way, which is to decide voluntary to have less than you have.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
And that's the different quality of experience that not voluntary poverty. Do you like this distinction?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I
So
like
don't
it.
forget that the more you have, the more you
Yes.
are attached to something. Uh, 1 month ago, I gave a public lesson in a really nice ancient building here in Brescia, in Italy, about Napoleon, because Napoleon slept there 3 nights, yeah, in the past. And I met the owner of the house, which is a lady like 70 years old, and she's really really rich. Yeah, she had a lot of buildings like that, and this building are amazing. Yeah, and I was amazed about this building. I was like, wow, it would be beautiful to wake up in such a place, a beautiful place. Yeah. And you know what she answered me? She was like, it's really heavy to keep all this stuff, because every day she has to work in order to maintain all the building, because she feels the duty not to make this nice beautiful building ruin. Yeah. So in a way, at one point, I felt pity on her, even if she's much, she's really rich. Yeah, I was like, wow, I'm much more free than this woman. Yeah. So don't forget, the more you have, the
Yeah.
more the less free in a way you are, because what you have possess you in a way. Yeah. So this is my apology of voluntary poverty. Yes. How you should like. Okay, you want to add something, Simona? You're good.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. So another name for your black horse is the fear to be poor again. Okay, good. Thank you. Sebastian, you want to add something about this?
Yes, I wanted to propose to Mona the Swedish concept of the standing. Probably nobody knows it here. I recently found out about it. It's a practice in Sweden where people start closing their affairs when they enter into their end of their life, when their death comes closer, or they start consciously planning for it and decluttering their house and bring their affairs in order to be then free to die. But it's a good practice that we can do daily, or approach it in our lives to resolve and reduce the clutter in our lives to get to the main thing, to what is important.
It's a sort of diet of the soul, yeah.
I like this even better. Yes, the diet of the soul. Very good.
Sometimes, when you eat too much, you feel that your body needs to eat less, and here it's the same with the soul.
Yes, fasting for the soul.
Fasting, yes. Yes, let me propose you, since Simona, since Sebastian proposed you a concept that can help you to reconcile a bit with having less. Another concept that I think is a movement as well is minimalism. I don't know if you heard about it. There are people that decide to live with the minimum of amount of stuff that they can reach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people reduce the object they need in a bag. Yeah. There is a documentary in Netflix about this. If you look at it, is the minimalism. Yeah. And they see that they change life basically, and they feel much more happy now that they have less than before. Yeah. There is some house that are really funny because there is what, there's the kitchen, but there is a one chair, one table, one one knife, because they try to reach the minimum, yeah, in order to be more free, yeah. And they all of them, they say that they save much more energy and time to do what they really like in their life, yeah. So they're not slave anymore. Yes. Okay. You see what Plato means by saying that not to be stuck in material stuff? He's speaking about you, Simon. Okay,
Thank
good.
you, Plato.
You see, Plato is actual. He's speaking about humans that lives 2,400 years later. Yeah, that's why it's so powerful. Yeah. Okay, good. Other comments about this? No. There is someone else that has the same black horse than Simona. This fear of losing comfort, losing stuff. No.
All of us.
Or Romanians. Yeah. It's a collective fear of Romania.
Collective trauma, yes.
Yeah. It's because of Ceausescu trauma. Yeah. All right. So let's go through another fear, another black horses. Who didn't speak? Arminda, can you share your black horse?
Yes, mine is lack of discipline.
All right. And which problem creates this black horse in your life, this lack of discipline?
That I go from one thing to another, and then I don't stay on the same subject I study or whatever.
flattering, you're wondering, yeah, you're wonder, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Do you like the concept of wondering, or you want to propose another better concept to identify this dynamic you just described?
No, this works. Yes, I'm wondering.
You're a wonder.
Yes.
Mm. Okay,
And
okay.
I like this because it gives me the impression that I'm free.
Oh, so wonder is wonderful.
La un workshop de filosofía, de fapt. Entrevista o sentido.
Pepe, you're not impressing girls by telling them.
I'm sorry, my you were in the pocket and you know open mic is always a bitch.
Okay.
Sorry.
You know, you see, it's an example of a person stuck in material world now. So,
I'm afraid to lose my cover and I'm not Romanian, so yes.
okay. So, Arminda, for you, wandering is wonderful, but at the same time, if you think about that, that's your main problem that prevents you from dedicate your life to the noblest part of your soul. Yeah, that's what makes you unsatisfied.
Yes.
So why is you think is wonderful if that's the reason why you are not happy? You're masochist person or what?
No, but sometimes, well, sometimes I believe that that is wonderful. It's wonderful that it gives me freedom. Yeah.
Okay, so you're stuck in self-deception, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
You like to lie to yourself. Okay. And but you want to keep doing it, or you want to change to go back to Tiberia's topic? You don't
I
miss
think
stronger wings?
I want to change, but I think it's hard because this is an easier way. It allows me to be lazy.
Yeah, but you're not tired to be impotent or to be powerless? Because you're
Yes.
speaking about lazy, but it seems more that you don't you don't do stuff, you don't challenge yourself, you don't engage yourself in something, you don't commit yourself, so you don't exist basically. Yeah, you're not too tired to be a ghost basically.
Yes, I am. I am.
Yeah, that's what the ghosts do. They wander around. Yeah, they don't they don't really exist. Yeah, but
Yeah.
what's your main problem with existence? Since it seems that you're escaping existence through wandering, what would you say is that your main problem with that?
With existence.
Oh, let me help you, Armina. Which is
Yes.
your biggest fear in your life? You don't even know your fears.
Maybe that I will be crushed.
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 The, what do you mean by? Can you be more precise? What to suffer? You mean?
Suffer, maybe, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you prefer to exist less because existing more can imply more suffering.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. So your main problem is suffering, is pain.
Yes.
Okay. But it's not suffering, wandering all the time.
Yes, it is also suffering, yes.
But so since it's also suffering, why do you prefer that kind of suffering than the suffering that you can get by engaging something in your life, by existing more, by challenge
I
yourself?
think it's less suffering like this.
Yeah, is it less?
I think so, yes.
Wait, did you
So
see
it
what?
seems.
Your eyes made something funny. You said you didn't seem very convinced. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there is anybody that want to suggest something to Arminda to reconcile a bit more with existence, to stop to be a ghost wandering uh, around? Pick someone, Arminda.
Sebastian,
There is an English saying that says that luck favors the brave.
that?
Luck favors the brave. I
Uh-huh.
suggest that you can be more brave, and the luck will be on your side. And
Mhm.
relinquish the familiar suffering for new suffering.
Okay.
Okay, so you lack a bit of courage, Arminda, or no?
Yes, I could use some courage, yes.
Okay, so one idea, one advice to be more courageous in your life. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Victor, you had something different?
Following what Arminda said, for her, thinking is suffering.
Oh, wait, you were supposed to make her reconcile with existence, and now you're suggesting her to stop thinking or not to think. So, what's your proposal? I don't get, Victor. So
I
you're
just wanted,
raising a problem. You're not suggesting how to reconcile with existence, right?
yes,
So, you're doing something else now.
yeah,
Okay, okay, let's go with that. But just to make clear, now you don't want to suggest her to reconcile with existence. You want to raise a problem, right?
yes.
Okay, go on. Try to be clear and say with problem you see.
What prevents Arminda dedicating her life to thinking is this lack of discipline, which is like wandering around, which creates suffering for her. But it is less suffering in comparison to thinking, which would be more suffering.
Okay, that did you understand?
Yes.
You agree?
Yes, it also applies to thinking, but to other stuff also. He reduced my problem to thinking.
Okay.
And in the meantime, she would like, this is my assumption, that she would like to dedicate her life to thinking or dedicate more time to it.
Oh, that's what your advice. To dedicate more time to think.
This is my assumption on what I think she would like to.
She would like to think more.
Yes, I think thinking for Arminda is important.
That's why she would come to join us to this kind of stuff, yeah?
Yes.
To think more. It's true, Arminda?
Yes, yes.
You're getting here to exist a little more, to stop for 2 hours to be a ghost wandering.
Yes.
Yeah, but you being a ghost here as well, yeah, because you didn't speak for 1 hour and a half. I had to invite you to speak, yeah. So even here, you have this tendency to remain a ghost.
I know.
Yeah, but you know what? Let me give you a last suggestion. That you know what? I think that more than pain, the problem is the fear of pain. Did you read Epicuro?
No.
He wrote a nice text. It's called Tetrapharmaco. Or I don't know in English, but it's Tetrapharmacon. Tetrapharmacon means four medicines, basically. Pharmaco is medicine. Yeah. Tetra is mean four. So
Mhm.
he proposed four different arguments to deal with four main fears that humans have in order to help humans to reconcile with existence, which is your problem, by the way. Yeah. And one of these fear is the fear to sorrow, to suffering. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the argument, I don't know if it works with you, but that's what Epicuro proposed. Epicuro proposed the idea that if the sorrow is very intense, either it lasts very little, either it makes you die. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then he proposed an argumentation why you shouldn't fear death. So, it's not a problem to die for him, yeah? Because if you die, you don't feel anything, so you are not there. So in a way, it's not an experience that you have in your life. It's something that doesn't have anything to do with you, yeah? Because you are not there anymore. And if it lasts longer, the suffering, it says that it is not, it cannot be intense, yeah, because if it's too intense, maybe you shut down, yeah, the body and the mind is not made to keep too intense sorrow for too much time, yeah. I don't know if this can help you to reconcile a bit with the sorrow, yeah, because maybe sometimes the fear of suffering is a bigger problem than suffering itself. That's a bit the idea of Epicuro. Maybe you are
Yes, I understand.
overestimating suffering. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, you
maybe.
understand, but it doesn't seem that you really like this Epicuro argumentation. Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting that the idea that I fear the idea of suffering. But yes, the argumentation doesn't convince me because while you were explaining it, I was remembering different sufferings I had in my life, which went on for a while. They were not
Oh,
very
okay.
intense and very
So
short.
you don't believe Epicuro when he says that it's not possible that an intense uh, sorrow lasts long. Yeah, you think it's possible.
Yes, I think it's possible.
Okay. It must be very strong, the sorrow you had in order to turn in a ghost for so long. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I try my best, Arminda, so I hope can have a nice effect on you. I don't know. You want to add something, Arminda? You're good.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, okay. But at least for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, you stop being ghost. Yeah. How did you sorrow in these 50 minutes, or was not that bad?
It was a bit hard,
Oh,
yes.
really?
I feel myself sweating.
Oh, wow. You're a really sensitive person, Arminda.
Yes,
Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, you feel
maybe.
too you feel too much. You feel too much. By the way, a way to feel less, you know what it is? To start
No.
thinking. Yeah. When you think, in a way, you detach from your feelings in a way. Yeah. You die, like Plato says. You die in the sense that you divide body and emotion and soul, thinking. Yeah, which is the
Yeah.
ancient idea of death, the disease separation. Yeah. Okay, okay. Thank you, Arminda. Was for me it wasn't painful, but apparently for you it was. Anybody else about this exchange? Want to add something? Tiberia? You
Yeah,
see,
I was,
Arminda didn't change. Yeah, didn't change. So
now
she's still a
I was
ghost. She's still a ghost.
I was thinking that she said that she fears about things that can happen, but I think that she should ask herself if she's sure that she will suffer. I, are you sure that you will suffer when you do X or Y?
Wait, can you rephrase, Tiberia, your question?
Uh, yeah, so my question is, are you sure that if you are not wandering, you will suffer?
Yes.
It seems so, Tiberia, because she's
How? Can you see the future or
okay. Let's do like that, Arminda, Tiberia. If you do, you know each other or no, Tiberia and Arminda?
no?
No, no. Maybe you could try to consult Arminda about this. I don't know later, or maybe in focus spot
Mhm.
in Alex there. Yeah. So in
Eh,
a way, you could try to problematize this phantasm that she has in her
mhm.
mind, or to check if it is a phantasm or if it's something that has a relation with his story, his life, his reality. Yeah.
No, I'm saying because I had the same problem, so I know how it feels.
Oh, okay. So you have the same fear of suffering.
Yes, and that meant that I didn't do a lot of things. I was afraid of action,
So you've been
and
stuck for long in your life, not doing stuff.
um, I was doing stuff, but not at my potential, let's say, and because I was afraid of failing, and it really helped me to put some question, like, am I sure that I will fail? If I fail, am I not able um, to put myself together and try again? Or you have this a lot of questions that you can
Okay. So maybe an
ask
advice
yourself.
here for Arminda would be to reconcile with the idea of failure. Yeah.
Yes,
Because if you fear too much to fail, then you become a ghost. And
yes,
failure is
because
part of life.
she's not the same person as she was when she failed and suffered a lot of. Let's
Yeah,
say she suffered a lot of years, but she's not the same person now. So it doesn't mean that she will suffer again like that.
yeah, yeah.
She trusts herself more, maybe.
By the way, Tiberia, just
Mm.
yesterday I presented no, 2 days ago I presented a book I wrote about Cristoforo Colombo. Do you know Cristoforo Colombo?
Yes,
Do you know that Colombo failed by
yes,
discovering America?
yes,
You know that his project was to get to India and
yes,
Asia, yeah.
yes,
So I think it's a nice story because it shows that you can fail and become rich and success and popular. Yeah.
yes.
So maybe failure is not a drama, not all the time. Yeah, we make it a drama sometimes. Yeah.
Mhm.
But if Colombo didn't fail, we wouldn't know him basically. Yeah. So America is the name of the failure of Colombo.
There is an event in Romania that it's called, I'm not sure how it's called, but it's like failing. Like this is in the title,
Oh, you
fail,
should
fail
invite
something.
Arminda. You should invite Arminda.
No, but there are a lot of accomplished people that talk about failing. This is the subject of the entire conference. So I think I know it's hard because saying things that, oh, it's okay to fail, it's not the same with when you really fail and you have to go through a lot of emotions. But maybe she has to know that she's not alone and everybody is a little bit afraid of failing. But this is
Okay,
life. I don't know.
Arminda, do you feel better by knowing that all Romanians are failure or no?
No, I don't think I care so much about failure.
Yeah. Okay, it's not your problem with existence failure.
No.
You fail already and you're okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Oh, nice try, Tiberia. Nice try.
I tried, yes, maybe
You
I
can
misunderstood.
go on if you want. I think it could be something you can do after this workshop, maybe to keep in contact and once to try to have a conversation, philosophical conversation between you. Maybe Alex, you could propose an exercise like this, who wants to keep talking about some topics raised in the workshop. But now, since we have just a few minutes left. I propose we start with going through the concept and maybe we conclude with a few uh, meta ideas, meta reflections about the workshop. Yeah, about the process, about some ideas that were inspiring you, or something you, I don't know, didn't understand, some anything up in the general. We, by the way, Arminda, we have a few ghosts here that don't show up. Yeah, Margareta, Flavio, Marcel. You're
Maybe
not.
maybe there's too much pressure to say something meta, but it meta you can replace it by through through just saying how you think Andrea did, how you found the ideas, how what we do compares to how we think in general. I mean, meta may sound pretentious, but it's just feedback. So everyone
Yeah.
can have
For
feedback.
example, I don't know if you notice. This is a bit the idea of the workshop. We start to let's say not reading, but to understand a myth. Yeah, summarize a myth. We confront ourselves with a Plato's myth, and then we work on it by, yeah, have a philosophical dialogue among each other. Yeah, so in a way it's a way to maybe understand better the myth by going through this dialogue we have after. Yeah,
In a way, we use the myth to talk about our lives.
yeah,
And because we're doing it guided by a philosopher who pays attention to logic and reason and problematizes, even though we started from the myth, we continued the myth with ourselves as characters in this parallel myth of which is each of our lives. So continuing the tradition of Socratic dialogue with Andrea is the whole point of what we're doing, and often start from things that philosophers have paid lots of attention to, like this myth of desire and reason, the horses.
yeah. In a way, I think that's what we should do when we read something, because there are a lot of people, they read a lot but they don't think about what they're reading. Yeah, so sometimes it's better to read one page and to, think about that, to problematize what is written, to connect what is written with yourself. I think that's more it's more, there is more value in doing that to read like 100 myth or 100 works different without any thinking. Yeah, so yeah, that's what we are trying to do here together, basically. Yeah, to read and to understand, to problematize, to think about what is written there. Basti, and then I see appears a ghost at one point. Margareta maybe can say something. Basti.
Turn on your mic.
Yes, yes, yes. I enjoyed the working with this myth, which I didn't know. This is I like that you choosing a myth and the fact that we applied to our own lives. This is maybe my favorite aspect of practical philosophy, when we apply it to the knowledge of ourselves and discovering something new about ourselves. This I find engaging. I like how you structured the workshop, that we do a discussion in the beginning and then we do an exercise. So I actually enjoyed this workshop a lot, and I'm glad you are both hosting it. I wanted to ask you also if you noticed that you have phatic verbal tic, Andrea. You know it?
Which is?
Which is basically.
I didn't notice, but thank you
Okay.
for
You're welcome.
mirroring basically,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, you think about it.
Yeah, I like to be basic when I speak. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, it's a rhetoric instrument then.
Yeah, for me, basically, now I'm wondering. I mean, I didn't think about that before, but since you're pointing out, is I say that I guess when I try to conceptualize, to go to
Mhm.
the essence of something. Yeah, because I could say a lot, but in that moment, basically, it's like to say, okay, let's go in the concrete, in what is essential there. Yeah. So since I'm trying to do often that, maybe that's why I have that verbal tick that you notice. Yeah,
Yes.
because I
No,
see
makes
even
sense.
yeah, even when I teach, I see that if I'm too abstract, people at one point that they lose they lose me. Yeah, I lose them. Yeah.
Mhm.
So for me, it's important when I speak to be basic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, that's why I say basically.
But now it's interesting because you never request of me or of your interlocutor to be basic. You don't say just be basic in your explanation, in your sentence. Try to be basic.
But
You take
but by inviting people to conceptualize, I'm inviting them to be basic. If you think,
yeah,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you're not using the word basic in that way. You're applying it to yourself in a sort of monologue, but you are not requesting it of me as an interlocutor. You don't
Yes,
say, Basti, be basic now. Stop being abstract. Just be basic.
yes. But maybe I don't say that. But I invite you to do the
A
same.
lot, yes, a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for making knowing my verbal tics better. Thank you. Yeah. I think I have more, but
Yeah, I will watch out for you. No worry.
yeah. Thank you. That's why I record the session, by the way, so I can know something more about myself. Sorina, and then let's keep on a last one. Okay, Armin. Okay, Sorin and Armin.
I just wanted to make a remark that I noticed that this workshop reminds me very much of the other workshops we had on the 7 capital sins, and that we revolve somehow around the same topic of being blocked in this, I don't know, material world, or yeah, it's very similar somehow.
Yeah, devices are basically
Devices, yeah.
ways to be stuck in the material. Yeah, when you lose the contact with the higher world and you are attached to the material one. Yeah, is
Yes.
a kind of different example of iconoclasty. Yeah, that you transform the instrument to get high to the goal. Yeah, like we
Ah,
were discussing.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice remark. Yeah, thank you, Sorin
Thank you too.
and Arminda.
I enjoyed your presentation, and I like that you keep things simple, basic. And thank you for challenging me to not be a ghost anymore. And I think that this should be a kind of exercise for me, or the solution for me to challenge myself more often, not to be a ghost, but to be, I don't know, exposed, present in my life.
Yeah, but you notice that you need someone else to help you to stop to being ghost. It means that you
Yes.
have hard time to do it by yourself, and I think that's the a change that maybe Tiberia was speaking before. Yeah, in a way, you're being heteronomous in this workshop because you need me to do something that I tend to believe that you can do by yourself. So
Yes.
if I was in you, now I would ask myself, what can I do in order to be autonomous in not in stopping to be a ghost? Yeah. And for example, is being writing. For me is a way to exist. Yeah. To stop
Mm-hmm.
yeah, wandering. You write, you do something, you act. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
homework for you is to do what we have been doing together here by yourself.
Yes.
You should, Alex, you should explain Arminda how to do self-consultation.
She knows, she knows.
He knows,
But
but she's
why
too
do?
lazy.
Yeah, now she's right. Now she has to finish her dissertation, so she hates writing.
But you see, because even in writing, she had to have a duty from outside to push her writing. For her, it's not easy to decide to writing by herself. Yeah. So that's another way to be slave. Yeah, to have people that oblige you to do stuff that you are not able to do by yourself. Yeah.
Yes, but now I decided to raise my hand and give you feedback.
Okay. So
I was not obliged. I don't do only things that I am obliged to.
Okay, so in July, when I will get there, I want to check if you're still a ghost or no in Timisoara.
Okay.
Okay, I see. I don't know. Maybe one last sentence, Margareta. Do you hear us? It seems that you are flying.
Yes, I'm not flying. I just can't look at the phone because it's very bright here and I can't
Yeah,
see you.
don't justify. Don't worry. Maybe you have 1 minute to conclude. You want to say a
So
final?
I wanted to say that it's not just reading about things and thinking about them in isolation, but talking with people that helps a lot too.
Mhm.
I mean, when you talk to somebody about what you read, then you understand more about what you have read.
Okay, yeah, to dialogue on
Yes,
what you wrote
yes, maybe.
can be, yeah.
Yeah, maybe there's something about verbalizing for that matter because you put the ideas, but it's not only, it's like the Feynman method that you explain something and you understand it better.
Okay, yeah, okay. So in a way, the idea is that to see the text you wrote not as a final end point, but as a starting point of a thinking process. That's it?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Thank you, Margareta.
Thank you.
And I guess I see you next Sunday for the other workshop. I didn't decide yet the myth, but I will tell Alex during the week, which is the next myth we're gonna work on. Yeah. So thank you, everybody, and see you in 1 week.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you too.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank
See you.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.